Good evening, students. Today we will discuss the three major topics regarding electric dipole. The first one is torque acting on an electric dipole placed in a uniform electric field. And next, nearly same that here we have seen uniform electric field, whatever the torque which is acting, okay, on that. But next, potential energy of the electric dipole which is placed in a uniform electric field. These two are the major important topics that we see now. After that, we will discuss about conductors, insulators, and also semiconductors, and the final one is conductor placed in a uniform uniform electric field. Let's discuss all these three topics now. Now let's start with this one, torque acting on an electric dipole placed in a uniform electric field. Okay, now let's take a dipole whose charges we know already, plus q and minus q, and whose separation is d, right? The separation is d. Okay, you just remember the separation is d, and here in the middle I am taking the midpoint. E is nothing but electric field, uniform electric field in this direction. Everywhere in this direction, from left to right, there is electric field. Minus q and plus q are the two charges, and this is a dipole, right? Now, let's mention the points A, O, and B. Here, due to this electric field on this negative charge, there will be an attracting force towards left, that is F1 bar, and due to this electric field there will be a repulsive force F2 towards right side, like this. And now if you observe carefully, one is pulling in that manner and another one is pulling towards left and towards right, that side, right? Then finally it will become a horizontal line, or else it will come into horizontal position, right? It means it is rotating in clockwise manner. Okay, fine. Now we understood what is this, right? And now we have to find the torque tau which is acting on this dipole because of electric field. Okay, torque tau. We know tau is equals to R bar cross F bar, right? This is a general formula that we know already. Fine. As we know, this is a general formula. And next, we have to find in the terms of electric dipole. Okay, not in the general formula method. We have to use the general formula to find torque tau is equals to P bar cross E bar. Okay, fine. Now let's start from the center. Okay, here OA is one length, OB is another length, F1 is one force and F2 is another force, and the central point is O, which is not moving anywhere. This point is not moving anywhere. It means dipole's center of mass is there only. Center of mass doesn't have any type of acceleration or any movement. Okay, no motion is there, there is no velocity, nothing is there. It means this is here only it is going to rotate like this. Center will be here only, right? It means the sum of forces which are acting at the center is equals to 0, but not on these two. Okay, here the force is F1 and here the force is F2. F1 is equals to F2 when compared their magnitudes. Their directions are different but magnitudes are same. Two forces of equal magnitude are acting on a particular dipole, right? Okay, it means we can make them into one single force and one single distance also, one single distance, like that. Let's see that one, how we have to do it. Now first I am considering F1 part, after that F2 part. Here F1 part we will see, due to F1 force there will be torque tau 1, that is OA bar cross and F1 bar, right? And here torque tau 2 is equals to OB bar cross F2 bar, obviously. Fine. Next, torque tau 1 is equals to OA bar. What is OA? OA we know actually that is a d by 2. OA is d by 2, half of the length actually. Okay, let's keep just OA will be OA only, cross F1 bar. F1 is nothing but Q into E, right? Q into E. F is equals to EQ. That is the formula we are taking here. Electric field E into Q. What is Q here? Negatively charged one. That's why we can keep here minus sign. And mod we have to consider. Okay. If we consider mod, minus sign is negligible. Right. That is torque tau 2 is equals to OB bar cross mod plus Q of E bar. Right. Then this is Q into OA bar cross E bar. Torque tau 2 is equals to OB bar cross Q OB bar cross E bar, taking common Q. Fine, this is tau 1 and that is tau 2. And final torque tau is equals to tau 1 plus tau 2, that is equals to this one plus that one. Then here in both the cases Q is a common thing, right? And E is also common, right? That's why Q in first we are considering Q. After that OA bar and OB bar is there. We are doing plus. That's why OA bar plus OB bar cross E bar. E bar is common both the case in both the cases. That's why like this it will come. Here if you consider OA bar plus OB bar, OA plus OB, that is equals to total dipole length, that is AB bar cross E bar, right? This is a tau. And now AB is equals to D, simply AB is equals to D, Q into D bar cross E bar we got. What is Q into D bar? That is P bar cross E bar we got. That's it. This is nothing but tau is equals to P bar cross E bar. Simply this is equals to tau. That's it. And now if you want to tau means here this is a vector notation we need to keep here. Tau bar. If you want only tau, that is mod of tau bar, that is equals to, as this is a vector product, we can write this one as PE sin theta. That's it. PE sin theta. Let's discuss the topic potential energy of an electric dipole placed in an uniform electric field. Just now we have found electric dipole placed in an electric field, means uniform electric field, where we found how the torque is going to act and the formula for torque we just have derived. Now likewise potential energy of an electric dipole we are now going to find the thing, right? Electric field. Let's consider an electric field E bar is going in this manner, and now here the same one dipole we need to consider. one is negatively charged one and one is a positively charged one whose distance is small d, right. Now potential energy we need to find here, right. While finding the potential energy of an electric dipole placed in a uniform electric field, right. Here we have electric field E and a dipole in this manner, right. Let's consider here there is an angle theta at particular instant of time. At a particular instant of time it is making an angle theta here. Now what we will do, we will give some external force to this dipole and we will rotate this dipole from theta to some other angle, means theta value is going to be increased, okay, to d theta. For example, it just have increased to d theta. Now the total angle is theta plus d theta, okay. Now the total angle is theta plus d theta. For rotating this one we have done some external work done, right, W, some external work done W we have done, okay, fine. Now let's take the torque that we have derived in the before case. Torque tau is equals to Pe sin theta, that is torque tau bar is equals to P bar cross E bar, right. This one we already know. Now here work done we have to find due to torque, not force. Work done due to torque we have to find, that is dW is equals to, okay, tau into, means tau bar into whatever the angle we have displaced, d theta, tau into d theta. W is equals to Fs, F dot S, like that only, tau dot theta. Okay, if you have taken moment of force and you have to take angular displacement, right, that is the thing we have taken here with dot product. dW is equals to tau bar dot d theta. And now tau is equals to Pe sin theta, we know already, right, Pe sin theta into d theta. dW is equals to, but minus sign we have to keep here because actually the torque is in this direction, clockwise direction. The torque is in clockwise direction, but the work done happened in anti-clockwise direction. It means negative, okay, it means negative. That is the reason we are keeping here minus, okay. The torque is acting opposite to the direction of work done. That is the reason minus we need to mention here, right. Now we know work done, and we know that du is equals to minus dW. We have studied in earlier lectures, right. Du is equals to minus dW. It means what? Potential energy will be stored in the form of negative work done, or else we can say negative work done will be stored in the form of negative potential energy. Du is equals to minus dW, right. This one we know already. Then du is equals to, substituting dW in this equation, then we will get Pe sin theta d theta, right. Then u is equals to integral Pe sin theta d theta, right. Then u is equals to integral Pe sin theta d theta, that is u is equals to P and E are constants, Pe integral sin theta d theta, fine, sin theta here, right. That is equals to Pe into integral sin theta we know already, that is cos theta, nothing but simply minus cos theta. U is equals to, okay. Limits also we need to apply here. This is a general derivation, that's why we are not applying the limits, okay. If you consider here the angle is rotating from 0 to theta, yes, we can take the values in such a manner. And here cos theta we are mentioning, that is u is equals to minus Pe cos theta, that is u is equals to minus P bar dot E bar. Right, like this we can mention, where U is the potential energy of the electric dipole. Potential energy of the electric dipole. The last topic of this lecture, electric field inside a conductor. Right, let's see. Okay, moving to that electric field inside a conductor, we need to understand first what is mean by a conductor. Next, what is mean by an insulator, and what is a semi-conductor. Right, conductor, the name itself represents, it is, the conductor means something which conducts. Okay, this is a material which conducts electricity, we can say heat also. The materials which are good conductors of heat, they are also good conductors of electricity. Only few cases will have some exceptions. Only for few materials there will be having some exceptions. Okay, right. Good heat conductors are good electrical conductors also. And insulators in the same manner, it is going to insulate, means which does not conduct electricity are called as insulator. Semiconductors means their conducting capacity will be in middle of conductor and insulator. Their conducting capacity will be in the middle of conductor as well as insulator. Right. Now let's discuss more about conductor. Now let's consider this one, a material like a metal. For example, this is a metal. We know already that all metals are good conductors of heat and as well as electricity. Why? Because of free electrons. Because of free electrons. The more number of free electrons, the greater the conductivity is. The less number of free electrons, the greater the insulation power. Or else we can say less number of free electrons, more insulation, means more insulation capacity. It will be considered as a good insulator. Like wood will be consisting of almost no free electrons, that's why it's a insulator. Conductor means having more number of free electrons. Free electron means their octet configuration should not be filled. If the octet configuration is happening, then there won't be existence of free electrons. Like for example, inert gases will not have free electrons, that's why they cannot conduct electricity. They cannot conduct and they cannot mix up with another compound. They will not form any type of compounds. They are completely separate. They will not mix up with anything. In the same manner, the more number of free electrons are there, greater the conductivity will be. It means more free electrons, almost negligible number of free electrons, comparatively more number of free electrons than insulator, and comparatively less than. In the last chapters of CBSE as well as in IIT, semiconductors, topic name itself called semiconductors, their P type, N type, all those different doping, all these things we are going to study over there. Right, now this is a simple basic introduction about conductor, insulator as well as a semiconductor. And now let's discuss a conductor placed in an electric field, and what will be the electric field inside a conductor. Right. Electric field inside a conductor. Now let's consider a conductor are nothing but a metal plate. Okay, a metal plate normally we are taking like this. Presently there is no electric field. Okay, consider there is no electric field now. Okay, if there is no electric field, all free electrons will be arbitrarily placed. As there is no force on them, they will be arbitrarily placed somewhere. but whenever the electric field is switched on, means we just have kept this plate in an electric field, then what will happen? Simply the movement of all these electrons which are arbitrarily placed on this conductor will move in the opposite direction of electric field, right? It means all these electrons will start moving in this direction. All these electrons will start moving in this direction opposite to the electric field. Whenever the electrons are moving in this manner, we are going to see here finally the negative charge. After that, here we are going to see the positive charge, right? This is it means whenever the electrons are continuously moving, slowly the electric field which is inside, means this electric field E inside will be continuously decreasing, or else we can say let it be like this only. There is another electric field which will be developed in the opposite direction of this electric field due to the positive charge here. Here the positive charges are accumulating and here the negative charges are getting accumulated. Then due to this we are going to face some other electric field E dash, right? After some time, what will happen? E bar will be is equals to E dash bar. When E bar and E dash bar are same, they both gets cancel each other because vectorial addition. In vectorial addition, total electric field will become 0. E bar minus E dash bar is equals to 0. It means electric field inside the conductor is 0. Okay, inside the conductor is 0. It will be like this. See, this process E bar will be we are able to observe E bar only in microseconds, we can say simply. It means nothing but E dash bar will be developed. E dash bar will be developed in microseconds. It will be developed in microseconds. It will be developed up to the maximum magnitude of E bar. Whenever it develops from develops up to E, it will get cancel each other and nothing to develop there. That's it. Then it will become completely 0. Means electric field inside a conductor will become 0. This total will happen in nearly microseconds or less than millisecond. Okay, that's it. That is the reason immediately whenever you keep any metal plate or something inside electric field, if you see, if you observe carefully there won't be any electric field. There won't be any electric field inside a conductor. That's it. But in insulator there will be electric field. Okay, right. Insulator there will be electric field. That's it. Right. In the next lecture we are going to discuss some of the problems related this electric potential as well as electric field and some of the important JEE or NEET related problems. Thank you.